The 2020 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour is being brought to you by PSE, the world's best bows since 1970. Black Eagle, premium arrows, premium performance, no sacrifice. And by Specialty Archery, the most advanced peep in the archery industry. All right, we're back at the Foley Event Center in Foley, Alabama for round 1 of 6 of the 2020 Mackenzie ASA Pro-Am Tour. As we set the stage for the senior pro class, I'm Greg White with Darren Christianberry. And Darren, here's the way they scored coming off the ranges today.
Yeah, this was for the first tournament of the year. I thought these courses were very, very stout, meaning they had a really long average of distance. It was, no easing into it. It was just stretched out, very, very long, very difficult. So the scores aren't super high. There's a pretty good spread here, but it'll be an interesting shoot down.
All right, so let's get to PJ Riley, who's ready with our shooters.
All right, next up, we've got the senior pro class. Your 5th place qualifier with a score of 402 and 10 bonus rings. From Atala, Alabama, shooting for Martin, Alan Connor. Your 4th place qualifier with a 403 and 11 bonus rings. From Potton, United Kingdom, shooting for prime, Tony Weston. And your 3rd place qualifier with a 406 and 10 bonus rings. From Crossville, Alabama, shooting for Martin, Larry Goza. The 2nd place qualifier with a 408 and 9 bonus rings. From Nebo, North Carolina, shooting for Matthews, Glenn Meadows. With a 414 and 16 bonus rings. From Keller, Texas, shooting for PSE, Michael Braden.
All right, Darren Christianberry, as we saw Michael Braden giving a look. That's a senior pro tip, I guess you could say. What was he doing there?
If you flip the binoculars upside down, they double as a magnifying glass. Makes that indicator very easy to see on your sight tape.
Let's talk Michael Braden, guy we're looking at right now. He came in at 414, 16 12s that he shot, 16 bonus rings. He lit up the senior pro class.
Killed it to hit 16 of those rings out there at unknown distance. That's amazing.
And he was our leader after yesterday and was able to hold on to it. So the situation is Michael Braden is in the #1 shooting position, and that's going to be our new Audad target that we have from Mackenzie. And then Glenn Meadows is going to be in the 2nd position, followed by Larry Goza and Tony Weston, and then Alan Connor. So you have the Audad, the Wolverine, the Turkey, the Deer, and the Howling Wolf. They've judged distance, and now our first of 5 arrows, going to possibly 6, is underway.
Mike's got a 6-point lead here, so if he keeps everything in the 10 ring, clips a bonus ring or 2, he's going to be hard to catch.
Okay, so that was target #1, the Audad. So our leader, Michael Braden, in safe. If that was an upper call for Glenn Meadows, if he called upper on that Wolverine, that's going to be a 12.
Yep.
So the first score is in. And Glenn did call it. He did call the upper 12.
They're making that look a lot easier than it is.
Great job by Glenn Meadows going after it early, trying to put some pressure on Michael Braden.
Cut Mike's lead in by 2 points. It's only 4 points now.
Larry Goza, score 10. And as we move on to our target #4, which is going to be a large HD deer.
ASA number 51. He started shooting ASA in 1897.
Alan Connor went 14 ring hunting.
And dude, He is close.
It's close, but I think it's just under that. You can see how it's got that line tucked down toward the arrow shaft, but that has to touch that ring, and I don't believe, from what I can see or what I can tell by the camera angle, I don't believe it's touching. I think he's going to get an 8 on this. I've been wrong before today.
Okay, so Don's going for the cards. He's flipping around, and yeah, you called it.
Yeah.
Big aggressive move from Alan Connor.
Nothing to lose being in 5th right there.
Absolutely nothing to lose. So we've seen a variety of scores here. Meadows leads the way off the first arrow with a 12. That's going to close the gap to Michael Braden to 4 points. Goza in with a safety 10 at a 4:16. So this is unknown distance, unknown yardage. So what are you seeing from these 5 shooters in terms of that first arrow being that registration mark?
Yeah, they got to get calibrated. Mike hit just above the lower 12, so he knows his numbers are fairly good. He doesn't want to give anything up there. Glenn obviously has his numbers well because he called upper and hit that 12 there. Mike still has to keep everything in the 10 ring. These guys have to keep the gas down and hit rings to catch him. So as long as he doesn't back up to him, you know, if Glenn stays hot here and keeps hitting rings, this is going to be pretty interesting.
It's his first time in a shoot down, Glenn Meadows, and he just called upper. So is he going to get it? He's in position number 3, going for that turkey. Nope, didn't quite get that one, but might have caught a 10.
Yeah, that 10 will be fine.
Alan Connor. Ooh.
Alan's still 14 hunting.
Yeah, he went for it. Just dropped that one a little low. Not going to be a flashlight on that call. So the first score comes in for Alan Connor. It's going to be an 8. And I mean, you know, we've talked about this before last year when we were commentating together. If you're in that 5th position and you're so many points behind, why not go it? Why not go for 14?
You have to.
Wolverine for Michael Braden, a 10, right in the middle of that 10 ring.
Sometimes it doesn't hurt to try to get to 3rd place to get some money and get a contingency check, but people don't remember who gets 3rd.
Yeah, they certainly don't. So Glenn
take
with a
that.
10. Yep. Remains 4 points adrift of Michael Braden. On to target number 4, the large HD deer. So Weston with a 10, and Tony Weston. This is his first shoot down as well. I mean, we have 3 people that weren't in the shoot down last year, 2019. Meadows, Goza, and Weston. Weston, of course, coming over here from the UK and just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yep. He's new to the senior pro class, and obviously he's going to be a force.
All right, so on to arrow number 3. And what happens, by the way, if you haven't been to an ASA shoot down before, we have those 5 positions and they rotate. So Michael Braden, who started on target number 1, this is our 3rd arrow, so now he's on target number 3. So the person on target 5, which is Larry Goza, who's calling an upper. From our position, we could see it. There's Glenn Meadows.
Tony rotated around here to target number 1 now from the 5th position. Tony's got a great accent. He's from England, and I always give him my best Australian impersonation when I see him and say, "How you going, mate?" And he just laughs.
Yeah, British people always appreciate being mistaken for
I know,
Australians,
I
right?
know. He's a good sport about it.
So that was target number 4, and that's Glenn Meadows.
He's here
who's
to play.
Been calling uppers.
He is here to play.
Right back to scoring we go. So on target number 1 is going to be Tony Weston, and a 12.
He smoked that thing.
And he just had a good laugh and a good smile. So that was the Audad. Now we go to the Wolverine, and that's in that core line. We know that's a solid 8. So Alan Connor going up and down in this one. Then we go to our leader, Michael Braden, who goes from 434. He's going to move up to a 444 on this one.
He might have to take a yard off of his estimates. He's either aiming safe to not give points back, but Glenn is hot on his tail, and Mike's going to have to.
Yep.
Mike's
so a solid 12. Now the gap is only 2 points. Boy, I'll tell you what, Glenn Meadows, you have to look at it and go, hey, for your first time in a shoot down, you sure are doing really well, Glenn.
Yeah, no fear.
He's had several top 10s. His wife, Sean, is here in attendance. Been shooting 3 years for Glenn Meadows. Situation changes. Our leader, Michael Braden, moves on to target number 4, which is our large HD deer. He's got Glenn Meadows right next to him. I think you and I would probably argue that it's one of the easiest to shoot. It's a howling wolf. It's the closest target, I think.
It's really, this is important arrow for Mike right here. He's shooting the longest target out there. Glenn's confident. His numbers are good. He's picked up a couple bonus rings, narrowed the gap, and he's got the shortest target in front of him.
Right part of your screen, Meadows in the Matthews jersey. He called upper. So did Larry Goza, who's in position number 1.
That's a good look right there. See both shooters coming to full draw. Mike's got the longest target to the left. Glenn's hitting bonus rings. This will be an important arrow for both of them.
Still at full draw.
Uh-oh. There's 2 arrows in a target down there. What happened?
There is 2 arrows in a target down there. Somebody missed a turkey.
Allen shot the wrong target.
Yeah, I think Alan Connor. So Alan Connor with, yeah, you can see that. So now we've got to determine whose arrow is whose.
Mike's shooting the blue fletch. He's dead center of the 10.
Okay.
I haven't seen a camera view of the wolf yet, but I'm pretty sure Glenn Meadows.
That's the upper from where we're sitting.
Yeah, Glenn Meadows may have tied this up.
Obviously, that's a miss. So if you're watching 3D archery for the first time, that's going to be a 0 score.
Next up, our leader, Michael Braden, 2.8 and 10.
That's the arrow they're pulling there is Mike's, dead
Yep.
center 10. And that's okay. He didn't give anything back there.
No.
If Glenn tied it up, Mike's still okay.
So here we go. He called the upper 12, did Glenn Meadows. And we are low.
Glenn has got this figured out.
We are all tied up.
He has got this figured out.
Incredible. A 6-point deficit coming into this one, 414, 408. And Glenn Meadows has tied it up. So it's Michael Braden, Meadows at a tie. Now, this is arrow number 5. So remind us what happens after this arrow.
Anybody within 10 points of the leader, which is Braden and Meadows right now, anybody within 10 points of those 2 after this arrow will get to shoot a 6th and potentially final arrow to change their position. So right now, Goza is 6 points behind those guys. So, you know, we could have at least 3, maybe 4 guys in the final arrow.
What will Glenn Meadows do?
He's
sometimes a rookie mistake is go for it all, go for the 14. Nope, he's calling
upper.
Yep, there's Michael Braden.
If he's realized he's leading right now or tied for the lead, it could change this. But if he's just like, yeah, I'm having fun, I'm new to this, we'll see what happens, he's liable to smoke this.
Michael Braden has lost the lead, so does Michael Braden go for this 12? He heard over the PA. Glenn Meadows is going for uppers, and Glenn Meadows has been drilling.
Mike's on the shortest target. He's going to aim a little more aggressive here, I'd say. They are tight on score. Mike will be leading because of bonus rings. Mike got the 12 100%.
Yep. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to those bonus rings if they tie. So the odd dad.
I think they both got it.
So it looks like it's going to be a 12.
Wow. Look at that smile on Glenn's face. He thinks this is fun.
He certainly does. So again, new rule is after this arrow, we're going to go to that 6th arrow.
Mike will still get a shoot last because he has a monster lead on bonus rings. Allen got to shoot that deer again, officially this time.
This is an incredible crowd we have here at the Foley Event Center. And after that 12 was called for Glenn Meadows, the conversation just amped up.
Yeah.
How about this arrow? He needed this arrow.
He had to have it.
Yeah. It's not the end of the round because we're going to go to a 6th arrow. Anyone who's within 10 points of our leader, or leaders in this case,
That's big for Mike to hit that there too. You know he's got to be feeling it. Glenn right on his heels, you know, hitting those rings, reducing that lead. That's a big arrow for Mike right there.
So Michael Braden remains in first place with bonus rings. He's got 17 of those so far. Tied in score with Meadows, who's got 13 of those bonus rings.
He hit 80% of those out there. He hit 4 out of 5 of those targets in the bonus ring.
And we have Larry Goza, who looks like Goza is going to be within that 10-point range. So Goza in with a 458, so it should be those 3 archers as we are going to break out our 6th target, which is?
The Blesbach, I believe, if they bring out the same one.
Yeah, looks like they're going to bring it out. You can see it left part of your screen.
Larry's shooting for Martin. They're going to write a contingency check. He's going to at least be in 3rd place.
Yeah, so this is the battle of manufacturers here, isn't it? We have PSE leading the way from Matthews, leading the way from Martin.
Yep.
Nothing short of drama for the senior pro category. Now, here's the situation, okay? The tiebreaker now is based on bonus rings. So if you are Michael Braden, the good news is you're going to shoot last. So you're going to know what Meadows does.
Yeah.
So if Meadows calls up and goes for a 12, Michael Braden has to go for that 12. And if they tie, no big deal.
Right.
Michael Braden will walk away with more bonus rings, and he will be the champion.
Yeah. If Glenn steps up and hits a 12, Mike's shorts will be tight because he's going to have to match that.
So really, a lot of this can depend, especially in the senior pro category, is where that target is placed in relation to the lights overhead here in the Foley Event Center.
Yeah, there's with all the other targets out there have a little light on the floor to help give some extra detail on the target. This 6th one, I don't believe unless Ken's putting a light down there
Ken's
right
doing it,
now.
yep.
So it's going to give a little lighting on it so they can see some detail there. A lot of times these dark targets out in the woods, you're just shooting at a silhouette up the back of the leg or, you know, middle of the body, some reference point. So any little advantage they can get to see where they want to aim will definitely help them.
So Larry Goza has 3rd place wrapped up. If you're Goza, you're going for the 14?
Shoot for the 14 just to hear the crowd cheer.
Absolutely.
He cannot finish worse than 3rd. He's got to do something extra special to try to get to 2nd or 1st, and the 14 is the only way you can take that path.
So this will be the final arrow of this match, without question, because we're either going to have a clear winner on score, or if Braden and Meadows tie, we're going to have a clear winner on bonus rings, because Michael Braden's got 17, Meadows with 13. So no chance for Meadows to catch him on those bonus rings, which are the 12s and the 14s cumulatively over Friday and today.
Yeah, regardless of what happens here, Glenn Meadows is going to be stoked, happy as well. He should be. He shot about as good as you could shoot, almost perfect out there. So good for him.
So this is different than we saw in the women's pro category. They're shooting from position number 1. So it's a bit of an angle. They're shooting across the floor at this one. And Goza lets it fly.
He went for it.
He definitely went for it, but it's going to be
Just a little short.
Yep.
Nothing to lose there. That's a great shot from Larry.
There's no doubt that he was looking for the applause from the crowd on that one. So that'll be an 8. So Goza will stand on the podium. Now, with Larry Goza, technically at this moment in time, he's tied for the lead. But
yeah,
it would take 2 misses, but Larry Goza has 11 bonus rings as well. So
let's see if Glenn calls the upper on this one again. I'm going to say, yeah, oh yeah.
Glenn Meadows, the pride of Nebo, North Carolina.
His numbers have been all but flawless so far.
Got to have butterflies.
Yeah, he's got to be a little nervous, but he's handled it super well so far. Ooh. Oh my gosh, that's so close.
Another close one. That one to me right now looks a
little
little on
tall.
the high side. It does.
Probably have to get their light out.
Yeah, here goes Don.
What a good shot, though.
It's going to go flashlight, then it's going to go glasses. You can see him reach up. There he goes.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's high. That's an 8, I believe. I can see too much 10 line there. That makes Mike's life a lot easier.
Ah. Glenn going for it, trying to put all the pressure on Michael Braden. Big sigh of relief for Michael Braden. It's not over yet.
No.
He's just got to hit center mass.
Yeah, he just needs an 8 to take the win here. A 10, I'm sure Michael probably bury center. The 10 right here, make a great shot. Glenn almost stole the show there.
He certainly did. This is going to be one to remember as Glenn Meadows shot his way into a tie on arrow 6. But now it's down to Michael Braden. An 8 or better wraps it up.
Mike's got a really good shot process. He does the same thing every single time. That's why he's such a good, consistent shooter. Got the 10.
He gets the 10, so it's got to be Michael Braden 2 years in a row. Winner here in Foley at the Hoyt Pro-Am. And he'll be the senior pro champion. Michael Braden, great shooting all around. What pressure was put on by Glenn Meadows. So it's got to be Michael Braden who will take our first position. Glenn Meadows is going to be in second spot. Larry Goza in third.
PSG is dominating right now.
Yeah, they certainly are,
Yeah,
aren't they?
Sharon got the win in the women's. Mike got the win in the seniors.
And they're 2 for 2. And of course, our very own PJ Riley is taking our 2020 Hoyt Pro-Am champion over for a quick interview. So let's get right to PJ.
Michael, congratulations. First of all, how thankful are you that Glenn shot an 8 on that last one?
That was close. That was for sure close. You know, I knew what I was going to have to do. It looked like it was into me from back there. So it's like, well, I'm going to have to plug this one.
You pulled the 12 out when you needed it, though. How were your nerves on that shot?
Pretty good. I mean, obviously that was the shortest target. Felt pretty good about my distance at that point. I was shooting right over him, right over him, right over him. So yardage was close, but I just didn't feel good enough to dial it off to give myself a better shot at a 12 earlier.
Talk about the weekend. How about the 2 days of qualifying? How did that go for you?
Pretty good. Yardage is obviously rusty for everybody. Made some big mistakes, but pounded some good 12s all weekend to kind of get where I was. So it was good, but yardage is weak.
Good way to start off the year.
Absolutely.
All right, Michael, congratulations. 2020 Hoyt Pro-Am champion.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations to Michael Braden. And under pressure, he was able to close the deal. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we have the premier Open Pro category with 2 of the best in the sport, our 2019 Shooter of the Year, Dan McCarthy, who unseated 12-time in a row Shooter of the Year, Levi Morgan going after it, and a couple guys that weren't here last year, including a very familiar name, Nathan Brooks. So don't go anywhere. Our coverage of the 2020 Hoyt Pro-Am from Foley, Alabama will continue in a moment.
Announcing the new patent-pending CarboFlax stabilizers. A biocomposite blend of carbon and flax. Flax plant yields a natural fiber with very advanced properties. Flax offers 3 times the vibration dampening of glass and 20% more than carbon. Natural composites are up to 15% lower weight than carbon fiber. TrueBall Excel. We make archery better.
One chance, one moment, one shot.
That's a good feeling to know I can make this bow do whatever I want it to do and it will react.
This thing is just so much more stable, and it just controls an arrow so well.
Coolest part about it is all you need is a Torx wrench and a couple Allen wrenches, and you can just stand there on a line. You don't have to run and put it in the press and move those shims. This is a dream to work with right now.